pre-workout meal. I don't even know if I can.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Pre-workout meal.
Pre-workout meal.
Pre-workout meal.
Sure.
Pre-workout meal.
Low fat.
Low fat.
High
in sugar.
very sweet. 2 scoops of isolate. There we go. I always weigh my protein because
I always weigh my way.
weigh your way. 75 grams cream of rice, 2 scoops of protein, 16 grams of almond butter from Costco because that's the only good one you'll ever need in your life. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt. And then Bob is your mother's brother. Bob's your uncle. I don't know who the hell came up with Bob's your uncle, but there's probably a lot of uncles named Bob out there. I feel like everybody has an aunt. Aunt Sue.
I do actually.
Everybody that I know
I have an answer.
has an aunt called Suzanne.
Hey, come on.
It's
Outside.
just a thing.
Outside. 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 It's a beautiful day. Yeah.
And the bikini first meal of the day is
Eggs and toast.
eggs and toast, 2 hard-boiled eggs, 2 pieces of sourdough bread,
And then 1 scoop of ISO. Because it's either that or like 200, 250 egg whites, but
egg whites are expensive. We get them at Costco. Yeah. Oh, another cool thing that we do that people don't do is this. Our eggs are on the counter. That is because they
we
are
like salmonella.
yes. It's great for your gut when you throw up after and then you're empty for the morning check-in. And we get our eggs delivered by this egg lady. I call her the egg lady because her name's Sandra. Every week or 2, Sandra brings us 30 eggs for $12, fresh from the farm, right at our door.
Yeah. And so because eggs are so expensive, that's why we don't have ornaments on our Christmas tree.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just kidding. We have not,
We're waiting for snow.
we haven't decorated yet.
Waiting for
Did
snow.
you know there's pockets on these?
Whoa.
So I can pack your shit.
Pocket full of sunshine.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's that. That's my pre-meal. And M doesn't have a pre-meal. It's just same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Same day, different shit.
I don't really do pre-meals.
That's just same meal plan every day. For me, I have a gym day meal plan and an off gym day meal plan. Same foods, different quantities. Lower carbs. And for M, as soon as she wants to start dropping body fat, she just takes her fats out and drops 20 pounds.
Pretty much. Okay. Let's maybe situate ourselves. The camera here.
What are we doing now?
The lighting's just better. Okay, let me just see if you can see us. I'm sitting there. Thank you.
It's not even asking. You're like, I'm sitting there.
That's my spot.
You're sitting on the ground pad. That's Winnie's seat.
Is it recording?
Yes. It looks like I have 1 bite and this is my whole meal. It's because I ate everything. I couldn't wait.
Okay. Let's go.
Not bad.
Okay. Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel.
Hello, friends.
We're going to be answering some questions that you guys
Thankfully, you can't smell because this does not smell good. It does not smell good.
Tastes fucking great.
You know when you're in high school and you bring an egg salad sandwich, no friends want to sit around you?
I do.
Well, you do. Yeah, I know you do. Mm-hmm. What was your go-to lunch in high school?
I always had soup and like turkey sandwiches.
Soup's hard to like pack.
Not when you have a thermos.
Yes, it's just heavy. You know what
I
I do?
put it in a
was so
Ziploc bag.
I did not care. All my time off during lunch was we rush. You eat like half a bite of something and then you rush to go play volleyball because like
I go to Subway a lot.
Oh, we couldn't go off campus. We weren't allowed, so it was cafeteria food only.
That's because your school sucked.
Yeah, no, and then my parents didn't really want me to get cafeteria food. So what I do, I told you this, I'd pack a whole pack of soda crackers and then just throw it in my lunchbox. And that's how I realized. Yes, exactly. That's how I realized how important salt on those soda crackers made me perform in volleyball.
Don't come at me for not marrying my ring. We're still engaged. We're just going to the gym.
Or are we? See you in the next video.
Anyways, welcome to our channel.
All right. Anywho, welcome to our channel. Today we're gonna go over a few things, and I guess should we introduce ourselves, or we can say what we do on a daily basis and who we are, and that'll give you guys a deep dive into who we are. If you don't know who we are, and if you don't know who we are, you should subscribe. Just saying. I dare you. Okay. So who are you?
I'm Emily. I am Patrick's fiance.
Number one. She said it as number one.
Never disappear. You in the picture. Always the same. You in the picture. Calling my name. You in the picture.
But yeah, I am. Who am I? People usually introduce themselves as like what their profession is, which...
Well, it's still important to know.
Okay, sure. I am a 27-year-old, and I am a newly IFB pro.
Competitor number 241, Emily. I don't know about you folks, that one kind of gave me some goosebumps there.
For my job, I guess, I do
Nursing?
no, this needs to be cut. Okay, anyways.
Round one.
I'm a 27-year-old. I live in Calgary, Alberta. We live in Calgary, Alberta. I'm a registered nurse. I literally have 3 jobs. So I work in a sports medicine clinic, like a regenerative health clinic, and then I work at AHS. I work in the hospital, and then I'm also a online coach, personal trainer,
Dog mom.
and dog mom full time. So yeah, that's kind of what I do, and I'll pass it along to Pat.
So I'm Pat, also known as Coach Pat. I BEVY Pro on social media. And I used to I went to school. I used to go to school, that makes sense too. But I went to school for policing, and I finished that. Started working as a 911 police communications operator. I did that for about 3.5 years, and then did it during the pandemic. I started coaching on the side. I was hired by my previous coach, who saw a lot of good work ethic and good knowledge in me. So thankfully enough, I was mentored into being a really good coach. I attended every single competition that year, and that drove me as an athlete to be the best possible athlete, but also gave me so much experience and knowledge to be the best possible coach. And this is now what I do full time. So fast forward to January of 2022, Emily reached out to me on social media. She told me she made the best rice, and then
The rest is history.
the rest is history. I went to pick her up. We met up. She flew back out to Calgary the next day. I was still living back there in Gatineau, Quebec. And I started booking a bunch of flights here to see her all the time. And
the rest is history.
It literally took me about 3 months, and I moved to Calgary after living in Gatineau for like 25, 26 years, my hometown. And I didn't think twice and just moved here, and now here we are. So what once felt like very foreign territory, where Calgary, I didn't know anyone, didn't have any friends, didn't really know anyone but Emily and her brother Adam, who's also a classic IFBB pro, Adam Bev, now has become home to us. And we train at the realm here in Calgary, and that's what we do, that's who we are. And the main part of who we are also is what you hear in the back of every single video you're probably going to see, which is our 2 dogs, 2 corgis. So yeah.
Guys,
Come here.
introduce yourself. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we'll have videos of like kind of like how we became an IFBB pro, and Pat and I both became an IFBB pro quite quickly. So it was just a lot, and so now we're just like fully living the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll just answer some questions that you guys had.
Well,
That kind of will explain everything.
yeah, exactly. We've both been competing and into fitness for a long time. Like I started when I was 16, and then I turned pro at like 24 or something. But same scenario for both me and Emily. Funny enough, we both won the overall the same show in Toronto. I won it in 2021 at my first ever national, which was very overwhelming, but also very fun. Probably one of the best days of my life. And then for Emily, she won it this past year in Toronto in a very strong lineup with Tyler Mannion, the IFBB vice president, as the head judge. And he wanted her to compete in the pro show the following day, but she decided to take some time off, come back in 2026 together, and shock the world, basically, just as she did as an amateur. She literally shocked the world. She hopped on stage at the Alberta Open here in Calgary, May 31st of 2025.
Yeah.
Completely ate up the whole show. I mean, there was other good competitors, but Emily was definitely in the lane of her own. And she won actually not only the whole show in bikini, but she actually won best in show. So she won the best woman of all categories, which was funny because it was a pose down between all the girls. And yeah, then that led to Toronto the week after.
Such nice people too. Like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have competitor number 81.
And I had, that was a busy ass day because for me, I had 5 people competing, all guys placed inside the top 2 in their class. That was an amazing show. I was a week out for my competition in Toronto as a pro, as my classic pro debut. So for those that don't know, I've turned pro in men's physique, and I've been a men's physique pro for 4 years.
And new IFBB Pro competitor number 1, 2. Even like racing.
And I now have been a classic pro for 1 year.
I hate crust.
You hate crust? Yeah, well, I always eat her crust. That sounded...
So,
All right, well, we're just gonna
started.
hop into answering a few questions because you guys asked questions, and we figured instead of just shooting the shit, we'll just answer a few questions. And if you have more questions, write them in the comments below. Obviously, subscribe and share. This would be always greatly appreciated. And follow us on Instagram And hopefully we can bring a lot more content your way, more knowledge, more laughs, more sadness. I don't know.
God. So some of the questions I got as soon as I was post-show from Toronto. And so the first question is, did your stage confidence come naturally, or is there a mindset shift at some point? And I wish I could say there was a mindset shift and that I have this like full story to give you guys, but this is why I'm a posing coach too, just because stage confidence started when I was literally 3. And my parents put me in dance classes when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I started with ballet, and then I started to dance, over the course of my life, and up until I was 16, I did it literally professionally. Why are you laughing?
This is contemporary dance. There's no poles involved.
No.
A lot of clothes.
Oh my God. I was young, and I did like all styles
Even
except
worse.
for tap dancing, and so I grew up dancing, so the stage is kind of just what comes naturally to me by growing up around that. So I was a very loved being the center of attention child because I was an only girl, so being on stage makes you feel that you're the attention, and so it's just it can be rewarding when you look good, when you do a job well done when you're dancing. So yeah.
Fair enough.
What are some of the things that have been a driving force to keep us consistent?
Well, here's the thing that a lot of people think pros are perfect, and that the reality is, and I was talking to Prince about this yesterday, pros are not perfect. We have our downtimes, which are good mentally, good resets. We got engaged this year. We went to Italy. We had all these fun things. We went to Stampede, a bunch of Cowboys concerts here in Calgary, which is a big event every year. And it was one thing after the next. So when we competed this year in June, after that, it was one event after the other, with Stampedes, with birthdays, with Italy, getting engaged, an engagement party. And people expect us to be perfect. And although we are perfect when we are in prep,
It's like knowing when to be able to lock in. And if you can lock in when you're able to, I think that's a pro mindset.
100%. A lot of people think consistency is about being 100% every single day. And that's where it can turn into OCD, or even be I wouldn't call it a disorder, but just very hard on your mental health.
Yeah.
Because as soon as something happens, such as travel, such as vacation, such as Christmas time, you
don't
start
know how.
panicking. You don't know how to navigate it. And that's where having good dieting skills comes in handy. And that's the thing I like to teach my clients, and Emily, same thing, is not restricting yourself when you have these events, but being able to keep some sort of good habits, like going on
knowing how
walks,
to
training,
navigate.
eating good amounts of protein, not eating just everything, eating the foods that you actually want, and not overdoing it, and having those healthy habits, so that when you're going back into your routine in between these set events, you're still able to lock in. Because the problem is, a lot of people get so locked in with prep because you're just nailing every single day, and they lose that whole 100% mentality as soon as they have one day where they're not consistent.
So what's the
So
what's the driving force that keeps us consistent?
Well, it's definitely each other, and then our coaches, right?
Yeah.
You're accountable to your coach, send check-ins every week, and then each other. Like, we're literally prepping together, and this is going to be our first year where I have BB pros together, which means we got to experience the whole prep together this past year. And we weren't sure how that was going to go, to dive deeper into relationships and bodybuilding, but we realized that was probably the best thing for both of us, because we were both so locked in. And also, when our energy levels were lower, we understood each other, and we were able to see how the other person is, and just understand each other more. Whereas when you're prepping and your partner is not prepping, although you understand it, even if you have competed before, it feels like the feeling is way different. You can't see it the same way because you're not in it, as weird as that sounds, even though you've been there not so long ago. So yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the things that keep me consistent, like driving force wise, is like having a routine.
Big time.
Not having sweets and unhealthy stuff in the house. Like that's like a hard thing. And then like Uber Eats is even more hard, because that's like at your disposal.
Don't have those apps.
And so like for nutrition, I would say like just making sure meals are prepped, you have the right things in your house. And then for training, to be consistent and having that driving force is just like having your routine.
Well, and a part of having a routine is also, you know yourself better than anyone else. So when you go to bed at night, if you know you might sleep in the next morning or do this or that, what I like to do and what I like to tell my people to do to be more consistent is literally write on your fridge or on your phone somewhere your exact schedule for the following day. I'm going to wake up at this time, take your clothes out for waking up and going to do say your cardio. If everything is so set in stone that you're going to do it the next day at these set times, then you're leaving no room for mistake. And if you leave room for mistake, that's where they can happen, right? So they say fail to prepare and prepare to fail. Well, that's a part of it. Having a meal prep company that helps you with your meals if you're really, short on time. We have a sponsor, Meal Supply Co. If you DM them on Instagram and say we sent you, they're going to help you out there as well. But just knowing yourself and knowing that if you don't have a lot of time because you're a busy person, then navigating these things and figuring out ways that you can be as consistent as possible while still nailing everything. So prep your meals the night before, have them in the fridge. You wake up a little later than you expected, you're still good, all these things. And the last thing before we move on, because we're touching on this for a long time, the people who surround you. A lot of people are good or bad influences, and I do get that if you're especially a competitor or even anyone who's in their dieting journey, it can be easy to veer towards people wanting to go out with you, and they're used to that, right? So they're like, oh, let's go out next weekend, and you're like, you can go out, and there's nothing wrong with going out. It's just about them understanding your goals and being supportive of them, because if they're not supportive of your goals, that's where you'll see a lot of people, especially in bodybuilding circles, become a lot smaller as they start competing, because they realize that the people that are driving them to actually be their best are in a lot of a smaller circle than they expected it to be. So yeah.
Long-winded answers from Patrick over here.
Bye.
I'm very one and done type of. Okay. What made me think to do a 3-year off season? Honestly, knowing that I'm just not ready. I placed 3rd in a natural pro qualifier, and that wasn't good enough for me. And that's just as simple as is. I was like, if I'm going to be competing with the big dogs, I need more time. And if becoming enhanced is something that I want to do, I need to think about that, and I just need to push food and grow. And honestly, I never compared myself to other amateurs.
Winnie?
I always compare myself to pro, like IFBB pros. When I was an amateur, that's all I did. And so, what's he doing?
He's eating his toy. Winnie doesn't understand toys. He just wants to eat them.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yeah, honestly, just like not being good enough. I was like, I'm not ready, and I want to be undeniable when I come back. So I just knew I needed to grow and get uncomfortable and push food and push in the gym. There's obviously way more to it, and I could go way more in depth, but that's like the simple version.
Yeah, I think a lot of people chase just the validation from prepping and being on stage.
For sure.
And sometimes taking a step back, focusing on other spheres of your life, while still nailing your routine and everything else, and knowing that you have a competition in mind at whatever time, without setting that straight deadline. You didn't know it would be 3 years. You just said whenever the timing is best.
Yeah, and I think that people, like, I just, every year I'd be like, I'm not ready yet. I just know I'm not ready, and I just didn't feel like it. But, like, you're right. Like, a lot of people chase the, like, and there's the high. There's that dopamine effect of, like, getting responses, being like, you look sick. Like, people coming up to you in the gym. Like, people don't really go up to people in the off season or, like, compliment them. It's not as much as, it's true, though.
It happens to you every day, though.
It's not as true.
Most people.
It's not as, it's just like not as like of a dopamine high, I guess you could say, because like you don't look the norm, and so people look at you and like say things to you that just is like a dopamine rush.
Yeah, you get validation from other people. You feel seen a little more, and basically people just get that rush of, especially when their goal is actually set and they're like, in 16 weeks I'm going on stage. It's a lot easier to lock in because you know. First of all, external validation from I don't want to look stupid in front of people on stage. But that keeps people into really good set routine, but it's not a healthy way to approach it. You want to do it for the right reasons, right? It's not about validation from other people. It's about doing it because you enjoy doing it. Because remember that if you're prepping for a bodybuilding show, it was no one's decision but your own. Yeah. So, yes. All right. We're probably not going to do all these questions because it's going to take off forever. How long
I would say like maybe like a few more, but
let's pick and choose.
Anything that you felt you did differently that brought you to your pro card? We could touch on both of that. That applies to both.
I mean, on my end, honestly, I was already so locked in, and what happened is I just stayed with the same coach. And as stupid as that sounds, sticking with the same coach, what's that?
It's not stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for me. I was really locked in, and there was a mindset shift, and that was the main thing where I realized I always thought as an amateur that I was pretty decent. And this coach, when I went to him, he was the first person who actually didn't praise me and was like, "You're amazing. You're going to do so good." He told me my flaws, brought me a reality check, and just kept me in check. And then he made me realize that I needed to be uncomfortable, which meant I needed to get fatter in the off season, put on more body fat, especially back then being a natural athlete. It's a lot harder as a natural athlete to put on some mass, and you do have to put on some body fat, especially in your younger years. And I did that. I got really uncomfortable. And then from my 2016 first show into my 2021, 4 years later, that's where I started winning shows. I was winning classic and men's physique. I went into my first PED cycle with proper guidance from the same coach. And then I did my first regional show. I won the overall for the first time in men's physique, came third in classic to one of my friends who's now a pro, funny enough. And then I went straight into Toronto. The goal was to place top 5, and I won the whole thing. So that was just, what changed was literally just sticking to it, and sticking to the same coaching.
And like no expectation.
I did not have any expectations until finally, like you get closer to the show and people start. Here's where social media becomes hard, because people start messaging you and telling you pro, you're going to be a pro, and then the word pro will be sent to you multiple times a day. And it's so hard because you know in your mind you don't want to be chasing a pro card. Even you told me when you turn pro, you're like, I don't care necessarily to turn pro. You're like, all I want is to go on stage and know that I look at these photos afterwards and I'm like, holy damn, like this is really good. So that's where it becomes extremely hard, because the external validation starts, you know, being right in your face, and they're always there. So what I did before my pro card is I actually came off social media fully. And it's the thing that I recommend for a lot of people. If you're an online coach, if you got sponsors, I get it. But also there's more to it. If you really want to be in tune with your journey and have a proper why as to why you're doing it, dissociate from social media, start reading books. I started doing that a lot, watching a lot of mindset videos and podcasts and all these things. And what about you?
Thing that I did differently: hire Team Atlas, hire the best coach in bikini. Honestly, that's what I did. That really, that I feel like I did differently. That brought me to that pro card. Like, everyone knows that his track record is phenomenal, and that goes for people who aren't genetically gifted. He can still bring and get them a pro card and make them look absolutely insane. Now, the other thing is, you know, that I think I did differently was I fully trusted him and gave him the reins. There was times where I was like, I don't feel ready yet, and he'd like snap me out of it and be like, you're an idiot. Like,
she would tell me that every day.
Yeah, and I was like, I just don't feel ready yet. And like, that's the difference, is like I had zero expectation. I didn't have that pro card. Obviously it's something that you want to get. And I was like, are you sure I look good? Like, are you sure I can do well? And it was things like that. It wasn't like, do you think I can get the pro card? Like, I'm getting the pro card. I actually didn't think I was going to get it. Like,
well, you didn't care for it all that much until the very last second, where he finally, because the thing with Atlas is he's so renowned and he's turned so many people pro that his word means a lot more than anybody else's. Say mom and dad, whatever, people who support you. When your coach has multiple pro cards comes to you and says, listen, this happened literally a few days before the show. Yes, but then he saw your potential, but then it led up to him meeting you in person a few days before the show and being like, you're going to turn pro. And he told Victoria, he's like, yeah, she looks pro.
Yeah, I think like when I saw him in person,
the confidence was there now.
It was very different, kind of. Like, it was very different. Like, when I checked in and I saw him literally the night that I landed, I saw him in person and he was like, oh my gosh, you look a lot different in person. Like, you're bigger. This is awesome. Because check-ins are very skewed, right? Especially if you're doing it with a coach who is remote and they don't see you in person, and he's in Montreal. We're in Alberta. So I just followed him. I like really trusted him. I gave him honest feedback of how I was feeling. But if I was like not doing well and I reported that to him and I was like, I'm really tired today, he'd be like, keep going. But like, also, like, there were days where I was like, I feel really dizzy, and it's like, okay, yeah, you need sugar. Like, have an apple juice in the back of your car, like, at all times, like in your gym bag, like, just in case. And And like it's being able to give that feedback and not later on being like, my coach did this and like it was so dangerous. Like, no, you need to provide feedback to your coach, and like they're not with you 24/7.
What are we getting to here?
It was just like what you did differently. So I just
differently.
literally let him take the reins and trusted him. And honestly, I think just like living, it's so ridiculous because people say this, but like living as a pro when you're like going into your competition, like I definitely felt a little bit different. I like felt deep down in my bones that this was a different prep, but I didn't know why. And I didn't have in the back of my mind that I was going to turn pro. I just like felt different. I was like, I just feel more confident. I think that's what it was. And that's really it.
Yeah, there's so many times where Em was coming to me and she was like, I'm quitting. Let's just book a trip. Let's do something else.
It's so true.
And I kept reminding her, and then James reminded her. And then finally, especially with him being so renowned in the sport and having that eye, he would never tell you something that you can't take as concrete, facts. So when he tells you something, he says you look good, he says this and that.
You
Same for my
trust that.
coach, same for Cuts. Cuts
true.
will never tell me I look good until I do.
It's true.
And when that happens, then you know it's actually verdict. And from obviously his results and what these coaches have brought, we're now both working with the top coaches in the industry. So
It's very different.
a blessing, but it also brings a lot of confidence, because when you get those words of approval,
Very rare.
they weigh way more than someone else telling you how good you look. And that's why it's so important to also stick to just your coach's opinion. Don't start asking this coach and that coach and this coach and sending your plan, showing your posing to this coach and that coach. Trust what your coach has set for you. When you start listening to anyone else but your coach, they might not understand what your coach is doing.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work after a year or two of working with your current coach, sure,
Yeah.
consider your options. But until then, when you're locked into a prep and you decided to trust
Lock
this
in.
coach, lock in your tunnel vision. You've got these blinders and you're only set on what your coach says, and that's the way it is. Provide proper feedback, communicate, but it's a team effort. If you start opening your doors to other people giving their opinions, you will start looking
like a recipe
everywhere.
for just disaster.
You're gonna rethink everything so
Yeah.
bad. So
Yeah.
and it's hard because bodybuilding is physical, but it's mental way more than anything physical. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's like a majority of the questions that are just repeated is just kind of what got us to the pro card, how we stay consistent, motivation.
Yeah, I think what I want to leave you guys with is what is next for us.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's true. Right.
Whoa!
It's November. It's like November 12th today. So my goal is to push off season for about 3 more months. Right now, I'm doing a clean like recomp phase with James, and we will keep just reassessing my body every 10 days to see where I'm at. Once we're happy with where we're holding out at and how shape looks in the off season, the goal is to start prep and probably do a show in spring, but we won't share what shows we're doing yet.
We won't?
No.
Okay. Here's the thing. The calendar isn't out yet, but we've always found that prepping, and doing shows from, say, springtime
May.
to start of summer
Yeah.
is always a
May,
good
June,
time.
July.
And, there's barely any pro shows here in Canada, which is fine. We do want to travel for our show, so we're definitely going to want to do stuff in the US. Maybe one show in Canada, which we obviously like Toronto. We don't know yet. The deciding factor is what our coaches say and if we're ready to do it. And we want to come back and both be very undeniable. Here's the thing for me, I did my first prep with Cuts and I had my best placing ever in men's physique, my first top 5. And then from then on, I kept trusting the process and I grew too big for the category.
Yeah.
So it was confusing because the following year after doing so well, I was like, well, the next year is going to be even better. I'll be consistent top 3s. And I was always out of that first call out, which is where finally I kept growing. And I realized in 2025, this year, and she pushed me to do this, but we moved up to classic, which I was still a little too small for. The peak wasn't our best. It definitely could have been better, but it's a learning process, and peaking not at your best does not mean you stop working with your coach. It only means that we were switching categories, we're trying new things, he's learning my body still, and we only got to do 1 competition together in classic physique this year. It wasn't like 3 in a row like I was doing for men's physique.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
So he's going to learn my body a lot more as we run the gauntlet this year, and we're probably going to run 3, 4, 5 competitions,
Yeah,
depending.
so much better.
So, yeah, I'm just trusting the process, and we'll see where that leads. And we're working our asses off in the gym, outside the gym. She's been working a lot of nursing. I'm taking on prep clients as per usual, and coaching clients, and same for her. And that's pretty much the goal. And then we're also preparing a wedding, which is another big
Very
thing.
busy.
Very busy. It's going to be in 2 years' time, so we've got time to prepare. But also, God knows, time flies. So
It does. So that's what's next, and stay tuned for the next video.
all right, you got any questions? Leave them in the comments below. Subscribe, like, follow, share, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.